So, what impact will the U.S. midterm elections have on U.S. energy policy going forward?
First of all, I think the U.S. midterms is something that is really hanging over the markets. It's certainly hanging over the political scene in Washington. And what I believe what we're going to see occur is a real backlash against a sort of push on the part of the Biden administration, especially in the energy arena. Our country is extremely polarized on a lot of different things. Energy transition, energy security is certainly an issue in which there's a real divide. And I think the elections will empower those who want to see more of an emphasis on energy security and prices at the pump.
Extremely important. What will be the U.S. role in meeting the global energy shortage that has developed as a result of Russia's war in Ukraine?
Well, right now we have an administration whose rhetoric is not matching reality. Reality is prices are still incredibly too high at the gas pump for working families in America. And so this administration, I would love to see our president take to the podium at the White House and indicate to the American people that he will unleash all the resources that we have at home in order to address this crisis in terms of energy prices. Unfortunately, the politics on his side of the aisle are not allowing him to do that, and unfortunately, I think is impacting the policy that is currently being pursued at the White House.
What are the risks to countries, governments, and the global energy ecosystem if energy security doesn't remain a priority?
I think we can see very clearly the risks to our energy security if we don't maintain a balance, and that is what's happening in Ukraine. I mean, with that, you see Europe right now really clamoring to try and build as much natural gas supply to get through the winter and to fuel its industry and its families, because all of a sudden it had outsourced its much of its supply needs to Russia, and now that's no longer there. So I think it's really, really important that we learn that lesson globally, and certainly in the U.S. We should be actually implementing a much more balanced policy, which could translate into the capital markets and the private sector as well, to see more capital invested to an industry that requires a lot of capital in order to continue to build supply as it depletes naturally each year.
And last question, as these trends affect the energy landscape, what is the outlook for deals in the energy sector?
Well, certainly the passage of the IRA out of the Biden administration and the Democratic Party in Washington over the summer will fuel a lot of interest, and it already has in terms of our clients at Moelis and Company as far as the renewable energy future. But again, going back to the point that we've got to have a balance, the administration very much can do more than it's doing to try and send a signal to the capital markets that the private sector should commit itself to the investment of capital in a very capital intensive industry in the energy sector. So hopefully we'll see that balance reestablished.